Good morning, students. I, Neeraj, Chugh, Assistant Professor, School of Computer Science and Engineering, welcomes you to this webinar, Mainframe at Work. In School of Computer Science and Engineering, there are 5 departments. I am in Mainframe Vertical, which is under the Department of Systemics. Agenda for today is we are going to be cover mainframe introduction, who uses the mainframes, factor contributing to the mainframe use, and parallel to that we are discussing job prospects in mainframe specialization, under which we are going to be discuss different roles in mainframe industry as professional. At the end we will discuss, or you can say that you can raise your queries or question answer session. So first we are talking about mainframe introduction, that what is mainframe. As mainframe is a very large computer that is used by business for running commercial applications and processing very large amount of data. I intentionally underline the words very large amount of data here. The reason is that because data is very important today, and you can say that a huge amount of data is generating on each day. That means companies are more interested in this data. Now question arises that why the companies are interested in this data, because this data is basically gives the information to the concerned people, and at the end the analyst people are more interested in that too as well, to decide their future strategies for the company. So mainframe is a system which actually provide this features by which we can say that it's managed the huge amount of data in it. And today mainframe computers are often called by its model or brand name. As example, you can think about IBM call mainframe servers as System G, Z9, Z10, and all various mainframe servers from the IBMs. These different System G server basically differ in their configuration, like the number of processor or the maximum size of the real memory. Depend on their configuration, they are going to be categorized into different verticals, you can say that. Now here we are concerned about that who uses mainframes. So I will answer that almost everyone. Now it's going to be said that how we are saying that it's going to be almost everyone. So answer is that to this question always include talking about bank automatic teller machines. So everyone who has dealt with modern banks these days would have involved mainframes. Modern banks process and store several terabytes of customer securely and efficiently in their mainframe computers. As you have an example here in front of you, you can very easily relate that all of us somehow are related with mainframe. Not directly we are touching those things in front of us, but at back end, the mainframe is playing a major role for us. Number of users parallelly are executing their transaction on mainframe system, but we are in the position to just see the ATM machine in front of us. So we will talk about all those things, that how the mainframe system are managing those things for the user and how it's going to be managed carefully or securely, all those things on the mainframe machines. So in the same way you can say that popular telecom companies processes monthly invoice for their millions of customers monthly using medium or large sized mainframe computers. As you can see that yes, the companies are managing each and everything in respect of the customer calls, what type of plans they have, and when the call, accordingly all data is going to be stored in their database, and that means what we are doing, actually we are generating the data. So at the end the data should be managed in a way by which one can say that the data can be fetched at the end in a proper manner, and company can get the actual result as per the requirement, and parallelly the customer will get the actual bill which actually he uses during the particular time period. Basically we used to forward the bills, company used to forward the bills on monthly basis. So at the end you can say that most of the bills are going to be generated. How to process those bills at the end, it's matter. because at the same time millions of users actually using that particular things, and how that is going to be dispatched to those users is a big task. So mainframe is a machine which play a very important role over there. In the same way, you can talk about online merchants selling various items, online host, web application on mainframe computers. In today's world, as you can see that number of users are going to be now online. They used to be purchased online. There are number of online web shoppings are there, and there are number of users parallelly executing on that. As you can take an example of Flipkart is announcing a particular scheme at certain moment of time. So at the same time there are million of users are going to be access that particular site. So how those users are going to be managed at certain moment of time, that type of machine, as we said, that mainframe is in the position to manage all those tasks at the same time. As you can see that here we are specifying CRM is basically customer relationship management, is very important role for all the companies. Why is it so? Because at the end customer is very important. Current customer has to be retained with the company, and at the same time there should be a new customer that is going to be attached with the company, and that should be increased gradually. How companies are managing those things, as based on the different plans as per their uses, as per their requirement, they're providing different plans to the end users, and as per user requirement one can choose their plan by which companies are managing those things. So mainframe plays very important roles in respect to as well. And most of the airline operators around the world uses mainframe computers to track their flights and to entertain customer booking. Parallel to that, most of the railway system are on mainframe, you can say that. IRCTC is one of the main example of the, you can say, the railway system which which is using the mainframe systems. As we are saying that yes, as of now the air is going to be used by the number of people parallelly. So how it's going to be managed, at which time a particular plane is there. So at this time it's play a very important role. The data is going to be managed at each seconds, and if at certain moment of time there are number of users, those who are actually booking their tickets, whether it's on airline or whether it's on the railway we are talking about. So how it's going to be managed all those users at certain moment of time. So machine should have that capability which can manage or support the users and their queries. So mainframe have that capability by which we can assure that number of users can execute their transactions successfully. Now, it is common these days to support small or medium computers in business establishment. In contrast to personal computers, mainframes are only used for bigger commercial establishment. As we just said that yes, undoubtedly, as we specified the commercial establishment, undoubtedly the companies are going to be bigger and bigger. So that type of companies requires the machine like mainframes where they have to manage a huge amount of data. So other installation could be for educational purpose in universities and technological companies as well. So as there are certain companies, those you're using the basically mainframe for their different tasks, and parallel to that educational universities are also in the picture. They are also doing their task or some research work on the mainframe machines as well. Even though mainframe computers are around for several decades, it is invisible in everyday transactions that public do. Neither do they know of mainframe computer existence behind their service. As I already said that undoubtedly most of us somehow using mainframe on day-to-day basis. Not directly, but yes, at backend, mainframe is playing a crucial role to support each and everything for end user. Now you can think about, here I'm showing the picture where I'm talking about the different technologies are available on the mainframes. As you can see that I just discussed that is it's playing the different role in different areas. Parallel to that, as I said, that cloud is also one of the big name in the market. So mainframe is capable of provide that type of functionality inside the mainframe as well. So that means the things which is normal other companies are doing, the mainframe also have that capability by which the user are in the position to do the latest thing on the mainframe machine as well. Parallel to that, as I specified, yes, analytics is also one of the important tasks at the end of companies, because the huge amount of data is generating on the day-to-day basis, as I already said. So that data should be stored in a proper manner so that that can be used by the end user. Here the mean of the end user, I am talking about basically the managers. Those actually has to decide different things as per their strategical decision based on that data. So if my data is not stored in a proper manner, undoubtedly then I will not be reaching on the actual results. So if my data is going to be stored in a good manner, that means I can say that it's going to be execute or provide a good result to the end user. Fourth, that means I already used the word here, basically the managers are the end user here for using the analytics. How those users are basically providing the benefit to the companies. That's one of the main tasks of the analytics people. They decide the certain policies, as you can take the examples of airline industry, basically the mobile industry. They used to provide you the different plans, and in respect of, you can say that messages, their call rates, whether it's an STD call, whether it's a local call, accordingly they have to decide to which particular customer they have to provide what type of plans. Even accordingly, they used to give the promotional activity. Most of the time, number of time you can say that the people used to get the call from the vendors end, or basically the service provider, that sir or madam, we are actually upgrading your plan as your users are so much, so you can convert your plan to this particular plan. So in that way, if the user is satisfied, so they can switch to the next plan, by which there is a win-win situation for both, for the companies and as well as the end user, those are basically using a particular plan. Third thing, I'm showing you a picture here, that is at bottom IBM meets Linux. Here the term which I want to announce is open source. Open source systems. Actually, mainframe also supports different or third party systems, you can say that, parallel to with their mainframe machines. How so? In respect of software, if you will talk about, Linux is an operating system which is an open source, is available on the mainframe machines. By this, mainframe is providing an open-ended functionality to the other vendors as well to work on the mainframe machine as well. Now, I'm showing you some particular things which is actually very true in respect of mainframes. Number of, if I'm talking about 92 of the largest 100 banks runs on IBM Z machine. One IBM Z can run near about 2.5 billion transactions a day. And the 10 largest insurance companies trust IBM Z. Parallel to that, IBM G systems are designed to deliver 100% uptime. That's one of the things. Just think about, here I am saying 100% uptime. How the mainframe industry is providing 100% uptime. That means at never 0% downtime. We used to say that it's available for end user whenever he want to use, because it's very important for the companies to retain their customer as a believed customer, because if at any moment of time the service is not available for a user, it impacts a lot. Here I'm saying that impacting the actually business, because it's not, there are certain things which is tangible and which is intangible. At certain moment of time, or you can say that it's frequently my services in respect of, you can say that website is not available to the user, how frustrating is going to be that this particular company is not serious about their vendors, their end users. So customer can switch to the some other. So those companies which are actually very careful about their services to their customer think that there should be a 100% availability of their services to their customer. So that type of companies actually believe on the mainframe machines, because mainframe machines provide that type of security availability to the end users, and people believe on that. It's from 1950s, you can say that, and the people are believing on the mainframe machines in that way. And you can say that 23 of the top 25 US retailers run on IBM Z machines. That means, as I already said you that yes, in today's world, the market is going to be online as well. People are shopping online. Number of things which is basically online. Bookings are there on online. Even if you want to pay the bills, yes, one has to go for the online. So in that way, how that particular companies are going to be manage the number of parallel user on their machine is a critical task. If our machine is not capable to handling the number of user at same time, it's really a big question on the company. So mainframe is the answer of all these things by which the companies are in the position to provide their delivery to the end user. So here we are talking about basically factors contributing to the mainframe use. And here I use the word RAS. RAS is basically, normally you can say that it's basically three words. One is reliability. First one I'm talking about. That means if my system is reliable, in which manner, how it's going to be reliable. Every time it gives you the same type of output. It's not that at certain moment of time it's giving something, at other moment for the same it's providing some other output. But here there are certain mechanisms by which we are assuring certain things that every time it's provide you the same results. That means that it's reliable system. For that they used to work in the multiple processors parallelly which are going to be compared with each other. Then only it provides the, or you can say that execute the result for the end users. In that way mainframe machines are highly reliable machines. Second term which we used in respect of mainframe is availability. As I already told you that it's matter for the end user or customer, you can say here, that whether the service which I am using online or at other way as well, so it should be available at all time. Whenever I used to be access that particular service, it should be available for me. If it's no, undoubtedly it impacts me. At certain moment of time, there is a last date. Suppose I'm taking an example here that I have to do some transaction and the last day is there for approaching to me. And at certain moment, if you are saying that I'm not in position to get my particular bank access to provide that transaction, so it's really a question mark on me that at that moment I require that particular service and the server is down. If I'm using the term server is down, there can be multiple reasons behind it. If I'm talking about this is the reason that a machine is have problem and due to which it is down, it really a pathetic situation for the end user, which is not directly known to the user. But it's yes, it's not available. But at mainframe machines, it never happen. As I already told, it's give you the 100% availability, and we used to say that 0% downtime. That means whenever user want to access machine or their service, that is available for you. That's one of the main feature of mainframe machines. It's provide 100% availability, or you can say that uptime. Third term which we are using here is basically the serviceability. Yes, it's also one of the important issue here. We are talking about serviceability, which is also important in respect of certain things. As we used to say that serviceability determines the ability to identify the fault and service as necessary to continue. That means if at certain moment of time, if my machine goes down, how it's going to be maintained so that end user doesn't feel that it's going to be down. Parallelly, my workload is going to be switched to some other machine, which is not directly known to the end user. That means we are fulfilling those things at any time to the end user. Here I am using the other things which parallel to the contributing to the mainframe, which is more important in respect of the other as well. As we are saying that here RAS is the three things which actually define the mainframe. Parallel to the other factors which we are talking here are security. As you know that if we are going online, there are a number of users, those who are trying to access our accounts. So security is also one of the major concerns once we are going on online transactions or any type of transaction we are talking about that is available on web. If those are not secure, undoubtedly it's in a big question mark. That means my money can be taken by the anyone. So if my systems are not secure, it's in a big question. But mainframe is the answer of that as well. They used certain mechanism or certain technicality thing, which you can say that certain technology by which they are assuring the security for the end user. Scalability is also one of the main thing, as you can take an example here, because people are using certain things, and day by day, as you know that day is going, the new technology is coming. If I'm not in position to do all those things with my existing machine, this is the main challenge, because whether I have to change it, then only I can upgrade my system. But we have already spent too much of amount on our existing machines. So for coming just new things, I have to go for the complete new system is not a good idea. In that way, again, the mainframe is an answer for that. Mainframe provide you the accept scalability as well, by which actually at any moment of time in respect of software and as well as in respect of hardware, both are available. That means if I want to extend certain feature in respect of hardware without affecting the existing system which is going on, I can increase, I can add on to the existing system. Suppose if I want to add on new additional storage system with the existing one, yes, without going to down, I can attach to the existing system as well. And even at certain moment of time, I feel that is there is a requirement of other hardware or upgrading the software, that is also possible through mainframe machines. That's also one of the good functionality mainframe machines have. Now, continuing compatibility. That means undoubtedly, as we are talking about, compatibility is one of the main thing as well. Whether other system which we are using and we are going for the new one, whether it's going to be compatible with each other or not. So mainframe provides you that functionality as well, by which we are assuring that it's compatible with the existing system, so that the user, those who are using the existing system and they want to upgrade certain things, so it's going to be compatible with each other. Here, evolving architecture, as we just said that yes, the architecture is also improved, as previously other things are not available on the mainframe. We changed certain architecture. That's why we are talking about the different machines they used to be launched on each years, you can say that, and as per their requirement. So new features are going to be added on to the mainframes. Finally, openness, I already specified that thing as well, that openness, that means we are talking about in respect of openness as number of users, those are actually believe in the open source systems. How it's going to be helpful for those, because they are handy with those technology. There are a number of things which are going to be in respect of the open-ended. So that's things are going to be maintained on the mainframe machine as well, by which we are assuring that the number of open source software are also going to be supported on mainframe. As I already given the example of Linux is one of the open source software which is going to be used by the mainframe machines, and parallel to that Java, you can say that, is also going to be work on the machines mainframe like. Here I'm talking about now the job prospects in the mainframe specializations. So different roles in mainframe industry as professional we can talk about that how it's going to be work, as I'm talking about the first application programmer. What's the role of the application program if we will talk about the person, those who are interested in the front end use, as we used to say that yes, ATM machines, we used to find certain things at front end. There are certain applications by which users are develop the application code for the end users. So that type of person basically come into the category of application programmer. Whereas if there is certain thing, as we just said, that system operator and the term used system engineer as well, there is a difference in between. Suppose system engineers are those people, basically those are actually in respect of a designing part of system, whereas system operator are those are going to be used those designed. So system operator basically use those design which is basically specified or designed by the system engineer. So both the type of people are required in industry, system operator and as well as system engineer. Parallel to that, you can say that network administrator, because mainframe machine have different LPARs. You can say that all different LPARs are going to be treated as different virtual machine available. That means if I'm saying that on those virtual machines there are different operating system can be installed. Even above to that, at next level again further we can work on the same manner. That means there can be a multiple virtual machine on a single mainframe parallelly can execute, and multiple user can be executed or parallelly can work on the mainframe machine. In that case, network administrator come into the picture, by which we are specifying certain things, a connectivity in between the users, you can say that if required, and how those different operating system are going to be maintained. That is at the end of network administrator. And mainframe is basically accessed by the different ends at remote end. In that case also, that how it's going to be executed at the end user, so remotely, that's also basically the task of the network administrator. Parallel to that, you can this specify the term here. I am using the database administrator. Database administrator also play a very important or crucial role as a backend user, because whatever the data we are talking about, that is going to be managed by the database administrator. If the design is not proper, undoubtedly the output is not going to be in a proper manner. So database administrator also play a very important role as a backend. So you can say that mainframe have the different flavor as we are talking about in respect of the different jobs, and business analysts work on the data as well. So business analytics are already discussed, where we specified, yes, it's a crucial role where which decide the company's strategies. You can take an example here where I will just give you an example based on the data as well. Suppose market basket analysis, you can say that the people, if you are observing a certain user pattern, buying pattern, and based on that, if we can say that yes, the particular user are buying in a particular manner, so what's the possibility that particular users are going to be buy certain thing in future. So supermarkets actually plan their thing accordingly as per their user behavior, their buying behavior, so that they can decide at certain day. We already find that this particular user or the number of user are going for this particular thing, so we will already take those things in the warehouse well in advance, so that on that day again we will find no crunch. So because we already find that user used to purchase on certain things on certain days, so just by seeing the pattern of users we can provide those to the user. As well as we can find in different analytics as well that particular user is buying certain things on regular basis. If we feel that we have to provide certain package to that kind of users, we used to get some promotional activities in respect of that as well, that if you will buy this particular thing, we are providing some 10% discount to you. So in that way also, that particular user is getting some discount and he is more interested, and you can say that that is going to be connected with that particular company as well. So in that way, we are talking about there are different roles inside the mainframe specialization itself. So you can get the different flavor. As per your interest, you can work inside the mainframe industry. I'm specifying, yes, mainframe driver of digital transformation success. That is one of the white paper, which is specified certain thing over there that yes, the people are going digitized, and as you can say that India government is also now going for more digitization. So we are providing mainframe systems are basically providing those solutions by which one can say that it's going to be assured for the end user that every time they are in the position to get all those things. Here I just completed my presentation with all those things, where I just specified different thing in respect of mainframe, that where we are using the mainframe in today's, and what are the different companies you can say that which actually are using mainframe in today's world, how mainframe is actually supporting different things to the user. Those users actually are continuous in touch with the mainframe teams, you can say that actually at the back end you can work out. Now the basically I want to say that you can ask the certain queries or question in respect of my presentation, so that you will get the idea. My details are already here, my mail is given over there. If you have certain doubt about my presentation, you can write to me as well. And parallel to that, I am specifying UPES.ac.in is our website where you can get the more detail about the university. And parallel to that, I will suggest you that if you can move to the university and you can meet with the faculty of your concern, then definitely they will help you out in that regard as well. Thanks for listening me, and the session is open for the queries and question answer session for you. As of now, I have not received any query question. Hmm. It's good. As of now, there is no query. I feel that student has gone through in a detailed manner and they understand each and everything. So there is no such query in respect of my presentation. Thanks for listening me patiently. Still, if you have doubt, you can contact me for that. Thanks a lot.